What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well and happy holidays to you all. Tax season is right around the corner, and I wanted to go over a few things with you guys. And today, this is just a brief layout. It's very simple stuff. If you guys want to know anything more, I highly recommend you guys to ask a tax professional or your tax accountant. But I just wanted to go over these things with you guys since you guys just started trading for some of you. Well, first I want to mention that if you buy a stock and you haven't sold anything yet, then you don't have to worry about taxes. You only have to worry about taxes once you sell your stocks, because as long as you're holding your stocks, even if your portfolio or that position goes up by $100,000 or $1,000,000, you don't have to pay taxes on it yet because you didn't sell it. So technically, all the gains that you see in your portfolio, those are unrealized gains. All right. But if you sold a stock, then that means those are realized gains. That's when the government's like, oh, you're going to have to give me a cut of that. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So if you bought and you sold, you worry about taxes. If you bought something, you're still holding on to it, then you don't have to worry about taxes. And another thing I want you guys to remember is that when you buy and sell a stock within 1 year, like if you buy something right now and you hold it for less than 1 year, then you're going to have to pay a short-term capital gains tax, which is generally a little bit more than if you were to hold the stock for over a year. So if you hold the stock for over 1 year, then you would have long-term capital gains tax. Just to sum it up for you guys and make things simpler, it just means that if you hold a stock for less than a year, you got to pay more taxes on it. If you hold it for over a year and then you sell it, then you pay less taxes on it. Simple as that. Now, how is it taxed? It's taxed just like how you would make money from your job, basically. If you were to buy and sell something, you get more tax benefits for holding a stock. That's pretty much it for buying and selling stocks in terms of how you get taxed on it. But I'm going to break down the numbers to you guys in general, like how do they tax you, like what should you do, etc. Right? So tax season generally starts at January 15th. So beginning of next year, IRS will start receiving filers. So if you're filing, they're going to start receiving applications starting at January 15th, and it ends at April 15th. So please file your taxes before April 15th, and try not to wait till the last minute, because you're going to have to pay a penalty for that if you file your taxes late. And before you file your taxes, remember to gather all your income forms. So some people, you may have worked like 3 jobs this year, right? You may have worked at ABC company, XYZ company, and ETF company, right? You've received your W-2 form from ABC company and XYZ company, but you haven't gotten your ETF W-2 yet. You're going to have to wait for that, because if you file your taxes with just the ABC company W-2 and the XYZ company W-2, and you're missing the ETF W-2, IRS is going to know that, because guess what? ETF company sent the copy of however much you made and however much taxes you paid to the government. So if IRS sees that you only filed those 2 W-2s and you're missing one, they're going to be like, where's the other W-2 at? So they're going to feel like you're trying to avoid paying taxes. And even if you file, let's say you file your taxes, right? And then a month later, you get the ETF W-2 form. You're like, yo, like, where was this at before? It's okay. You could amend the tax. You could amend the filing with your tax accountant, but you're gonna have to pay a fee. That's why I wrote it right here. Gather all income forms before filing to avoid amendment. So when I say all income forms, you could have generated income from driving Uber. That would be a 1099, right? If you had your own little contracting gig, whatever, those are all 1099s. So you have to understand, are you receiving a W-2 from wherever you're working at, or are you receiving a 1099? And for stocks, it's a 1099 form. And I just wanted to show you guys where you can access it. See, for most of you guys are trading on Robinhood, right? So for Robinhood, this looks a little bit different because I'm on my desktop, but on your mobile, on your phone, you would go to account, and then you would go to documents, and then you could download the PDF. It's generally a 1099 form that Robinhood, or if you're using Webull, TD Ameritrade, they're going to give you this form. All right, and I didn't get these forms until February, and honestly, I didn't get all my forms until like early March. So I wasn't able to file my taxes for last year until like March of this year. So keep that in mind. All right, like I said, sometimes filing it too early might not be a good thing, because then you end up having to amend everything and pay extra fees. So definitely, but you need to keep track during the year. Where did you generate your money from? That's very important. You need to keep track of that. If you worked at Uber, if you worked at DoorDash, I don't know what you guys been doing, or if you worked at this company and then another company, you need to gather all the forms for that. All right, very important. And for me, Robinhood, not only do they allow us to download the PDF form of the 1099, but they also send us a copy. So you should receive one in the mail. So if you don't, let's say they give you a copy that you can download, and you haven't received one in the mail, it's fine. Then you could just download this form and send it to your tax accountant. Everything is virtual anyway, or you could print it out and give it to your tax accountant. And it was really weird last year because, it was really weird because Robinhood has sent me a 1099 form like probably 3 weeks earlier, which was this one, and then they sent me one with a correction. So hopefully that doesn't happen this year, because this could have messed up my taxes, because the numbers have to be identical for what Robinhood sends to the IRS and what I'm sending to the IRS, because IRS generally gets 2 copies. They get one from the person who's paying the person, I'm guessing, and then the person that's getting paid. So your boss will generally send another form to the IRS, and then you send one to the IRS, but they're supposed to be identical. They're supposed to match. All right, so that goes for how to gather your forms. And then let's figure out how much tax you owe, because a lot of people, you guys are like, how much tax do I owe? All right, so first thing we need to figure out is your filing status. All right, now back to this page, because of time I already had these tabs open for you guys. So you have to decide what filing status you are, because that will determine on your standard deduction, and that's very important. So for me, right, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm married, so I file taxes with my wife, right? But some couples don't do that. It's really weird. They get married, but then they're married filing separately. Nobody generally recommends that, because you lose a lot of like tax benefits. Ask your tax accountant about that. I don't want to make things too complicated for you guys, but for me, my filing status is married filing jointly. So my standard deduction is going to be $24,800. And how does the standard deduction work? This is how it works. So it's income minus standard deduction, right? So let's say I earned $50,000 this year, right? A lot of people will think, oh, so I'm gonna get taxed on this $50,000. Not yet. They're gonna give us a standard deduction of $24,800 because I'm married. Okay, so if you were single and you made $50,000, then your standard deduction will be $12,400. So then you would subtract $12,400, and in my case, it's $50,000 minus $24,800, right? So then that comes out to 25,000. Wow, my math is so bad recently. I'm gonna say it's 25,200. Yes, okay, that's correct. So I'm not gonna get taxed on the $50,000. I'm gonna get taxed on the $25,200. Now, I also want you guys to keep in mind, like I said, I don't want to complicate things for you guys, but I also want you to keep in mind that, yeah, it's your income minus standard deduction, but then there might also be other tax credits that you could subtract from your income that could lower this number right here. So my number, so I could get taxed maybe on only $20,000, right? Maybe I went to school and I get a $5,000 tax credit. So then in that case, let's say I'm just using this as an example, right? So minus tax credit, my tax credit, it could be for school, right? $5,000. So that might come out to $20,200. So I might only get taxed on this, all right? But just for the sake of this example and for the sake of me explaining this to you, let's say that we're getting taxed on $25,200. We would have to look at the tax bracket now, right? So a lot of people would think, so that means I'm probably gonna get taxed on 12%. So I'm gonna get taxed on 12% of the 25,200. No, they actually break down the numbers, right? The tax rates are extremely progressive. So since I'm married filing jointly, up to $19,750, I get taxed 10%. So let me break it down for you guys, right? So it tells me that I get taxed 10% on my first $19,750. So then so there's about like what, $5,000 and change or $6,000 remaining that I get taxed on. Then the remaining $6,000, I'll get taxed 12% on it, right? Because it says right here, 19,751 to 80,250, you get taxed 12% on it. So on the next level, right? So the remaining, like, I don't feel like doing the math, so I'm just gonna say the remaining $6,000 from the $25,200, I get taxed 12%. I hope that makes sense to you guys, because a lot of people, they often think, okay, if I make $100,000, they're just gonna take 33% away from my income. No, it doesn't work like that. They break it down. So this $10,000 right here would get dissected like this: 19,750, 10%, and then so on and so forth. And then the next level, 12%. I hope you guys understand that, because if you guys understand that, you guys will understand your taxes a little bit more. So I don't want to confuse you guys. I hope you guys kind of get the idea of how to calculate your taxes and how much you owe. And by the way, your income, like I said, the $50,000 is not just from your W-2. It comes from your 1099. For those of you guys who received unemployment, this will include your unemployment. So you guys will also need to get your filing form. I think it's probably like another form of 1099, because there's so many different types of 1099s. There's like 1099B, 1099R, you know, for like retirement and stuff. So for unemployment, it's another 1099 form. So you got to go on your unemployment website, wherever you file your unemployment at, and you should be able to access a document from there. Or they'll probably send you a document as well. I've never really received unemployment before, so I don't really know. Well, until this year, I got some form of unemployment, but I never got something sent to me after receiving that in the mail, so I'm not sure if they sent something in the mail, but I know for a fact that you could access the form through their platform. All right, so I hope this helps you guys. If you guys have any questions, I'm sorry if I confused you. Do feel free to ask me any questions in regards to taxes if you're confused like anywhere in this video. I'm not really a tax professional, but I've done taxes in the past, so I know a little bit of it. You know, I volunteered, I did taxes before through VITA. So yeah, this pretty much sums everything up. If you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to ask Rocco or I. And remember, please join our Discord channel, join our Discord server. Okay, if you don't know the link, it's in one of our posts. But if you don't see the post with the Discord or whatever, definitely ask us for the link, because we want to create a community where we could even ask each other questions on the server and on the channel. Okay, so thank you guys for your love and your support, and I hope you guys have a blessed holiday and a blessed day. Thank you.